from go-karts into single-seat race cars. Now don't worry, Cam's very lucky, just a concussion. However, every single year, thousands of karters across the UK and across the world move up into race cars with no safety net when they are caught in bad weather conditions. That was they didn't before Katara. We are Katara Racing, and we think that there can be precision in every condition. My name is Martha Simpson, and I am the CEO of Katara Racing.
My name is Simon, and I'm COO.
I'm Noah, and I'm the CFO.
We have been established for 3 years in the UK market, during which we have outsourced our CNC machining. However, demand has grown, popularity is there, and now it makes more physical sense to bring that machining in-house. So that's what we need your help with. We need £350,000. This will cover the cost of the machine, the factory fit out, and all of the safety training for our employees. In return, you will be offered 15% equity in our company. Now, here is what we're going to cover to show to you that this is a worthy investment. But before we do that, let's rewind. 3 years ago, why did Noah, Simon, and I decide to found Katara? Well, we actually all met in the karting circuits, and we moved to single-seat race cars around the same time. And we were shocked. There was so much different, whether it was braking, steering, acceleration, everything had changed more than we anticipated. And that's before you even take into account the weather. Now let's be honest, we live in the UK, where it can be sunshine like this and go to downpour quicker than a McLaren pit stop. And if professional drivers struggle with their tyres in the wet, as you can see that they do, how are we expecting novice karters to be any better? Essentially, we've got one key thing driving us. We want to make safety in motorsport proactive, not reactive. If you think of the halo, wheel tethers, visors, even a virtual safety car, these were all implemented after tragic or severe accidents. Why are we waiting for something bad to happen in order to make change? Well, at Katara, we go.
So how do we do it? The KT1 is our fully electric single-seater, designed around one objective: keeping drivers safe during unexpected weather conditions. Rather than waiting for a crash to happen, the KT1 continuously monitors grip levels and temporarily assists the driver to get back to the pits safely. It combines an electric powertrain with intelligent safety systems such as ABS, traction control, and an automatic radio. So let's have a look at how it works. We begin with the KT1 racing in dry conditions on slick tyres. At this point, none of the safety systems are active because they simply aren't needed. Brake pressure sensors, wheel speed sensors, throttle input sensors, and an optical brake sensor are all continuously collecting data, but the vehicle behaves like any conventional race car. As is the case in UK motorsport, rain can arrive in a matter of laps, reducing grip dramatically. Wheel lock can occur under braking, and wheel spin can occur under little throttle input, making it a hazardous scenario. And this is where the engineering begins. The optical rain sensor confirms rainfall, while the wheel speed sensors monitor the rotational speed of each wheel. If wheel lock occurs under very minimal brake pressure, or wheel spin occurs with a modest throttle input, the car now detects it's operating on slick tyres in the rain. And this is where rain mode activates, enabling both anti-lock brakes and traction control. The aim here is to not improve lap times, it's to provide enough stability for that driver to get back to the pit lane safely. Now that the driver is back in the pits, they can successfully change their slick tyres to wet ones, which restores the available grip and therefore disables rain mode.
That's a lot of tech. But we didn't stop there. With every purchase of our KT1 model, you're also entitled to our app. Now, every customer is entitled to the basic free model, gives you live telemetry, safety alerts, and weather updates. However, we found that about 60% of our customer base has upgraded to the coach version. This allows them to accelerate their progress with video sync telemetry, complete session analysis, and personalized AI feedback. Finally, we offer the Academy package. This is for fleets and programs where you want to compare drivers within a cohort. So you've got comparative telemetry, a multi-fleet dashboard, and various other features. Now, Ethan over there is our lead app designer. He has got a phone there for you with the app interface on. Feel free to have a play around. Now, we have developed our market and our app around our customers. And being in the business for 3 years, we've got a pretty good idea of who our customers are. So we'll start with the top tier, karting graduates. There are 120,000 karters in the UK pipeline at the moment, and they're investing £200,000 to £300,000 per year on their progression. When you couple that with the popularity of Formula 1, the growing popularity of Formula E, we can trust that this is a safe and reliable market.
Tier 2 are track day operators like Alan. There are over 200 track day operators in the UK, and using Katara cars lowers both their liability and insurance costs.
Tier 3 is driver academies. So our largest partner is Arden Motorsport Driver Academy, and they utilise our fleet package and academy app, ensuring all drivers have an identical car and their progress can be tracked across the cohort by managers.
And all customers can access enquiries and direct purchasing through our easy-to-use website on the screen. But hey, don't take our word for it. At the very start, you heard Napa Racing's lead driver Cam Richardson back in his early days of racing. One big crash that unfortunately Qatar wasn't established to help. But let's hear what he has to say about the project now. Over to you, Cam.
Hi guys, I'm Cam from Napa Racing UK. I remember making the jump from karts to cars and how big of a learning curve that actually is. And when you get some jumps along the way, especially if you get caught with slips on in the wet, that's exactly what Qatar have developed, a really clever system to kind of help the new drivers stay out the wall and build confidence and get back and make the tires fly.
Now, if you didn't catch that, he basically was just saying we were brilliant. Now, where can you find us? We are in the West Midlands between Birmingham and Coventry, and there's a number of reasons for this. So we are in a geographical, logistic and workforce hub, which gives us excellent access to not only cars and tracks, just like here at Silverstone, but also all corners of the country. In the West Midlands, there are also various government schemes funding greener initiatives such as EV builds.
Now, although our car is unique, we definitely have not compromised on performance. As you can see, our 0 to 60 time is right up there with our competitors, with our power to rate ratio actually beating all of them, making the KT1 a very viable option.
Okay, so on to the fun stuff, the numbers. First of all, it cost us £102,300 to build, the retail price of £120,000 ex-VAT. This gives us a gross margin of 17.7k, just under 15%. So 15% margin, we're viable, but it's very tight. But there's one key lever hiding in our cost breakdown that can help solve this. That lever is CNC machining. Currently, we outsource it. So for every car we build, we use someone else's machine, lead time, and margin. By bringing the CNC in-house, we can save £5,000 per car. That's from labour and processing costs, making each car 28% more profitable. So what are we asking for? We're asking for £350,000. This covers the machine, fitment, and labour training. So why now? We're currently at the crossover point of a volume of 17 cars, which make the project financially viable. If we buy the machine prematurely, the machine will sit there idle, dragging our overheads. If we miss the ramp and we buy the machine too late, we'll miss the ramp onto accelerated profits and growth. At this stage, we also have proven demand, having spent £231,000 on outsourcing CNC between years 1 and 3, and if we continue to outsource, we project we would have had spent £860,000 over the next 3 years, and the CNC machine also allows us to expand volumes.
So we've just said that we know there's demand. Okay, how do we know that? So we're 3 years into our business, and we've spent those 3 years establishing our place in the UK market. So social media initiatives, automotive industry relationships, and events have been attended throughout those 3 years. For example, we're partners with veteran charity Mission Motorsport. We have attended their event, the NT here at Silverstone. We've got an internship program with UK Composites based in Derby, and we've attended famously engineering shows like the Match Show and etc. Now, we're not finished there. We have got eyes into the EU. So by our 6th year, so that's 3 years from now, we are hoping to have unlocked the EU. We would like a logistics centre in Rotterdam, which gives us access into the motorsport mad markets of Germany and Belgium, as well as taking advantage of the profitable tariffs the FKE export avoids. And finally, we've got eyes on Japan. Now, Japan have got an established rainy season and engineering literate market. It's the perfect place for Katara to make a home overseas. As well as this, they've got the UK-Japan CEPA tariff agreement, which makes it a very financially viable expansion.
So here's the honest picture. We lose money the first 3 years, but that's normal for a manufacturing firm in the investment period. However, there are 2 key inflection points which we want to point out. First is when we bring CNC in-house in year 4 and our EU expansion in year 6. When we bring CNC in-house, it allows us to turn profit. When we have the EU expansion, we can really accelerate growth. These 2 inflection points aren't accidental, they're deliberate, and also prove that when we have our first 3 years of profit or losses are covered 80% by public funding. So this is proof that your investment is directly funding growth, not just covering our initial losses. So by year 6, we predict you'll have a £10.3 million valuation, and by year 10, we predict you have a £31.8 million valuation using a 10 times multiplier of earnings, which is industry standard.
So Noah's talked to you about our valuation. What about your valuation? So with a £350,000 investment of 15% equity, it may start slow with your stake worth less than what you invested, but if you look at year 6, you are well above the water with a £1.55 million return on investment. Hold on until year 10, you're looking at over 13 times return on investment. And not only is this a very financially profitable investment, it's also a really rewarding one. You guys are going to be helping making motorsport safer for cars that's coming through the ranks. We are Accelerating. We think there should be precision in every condition. Thank you very much for listening.